Okay, today we'll talk about how to write CSR reports. CSR is corporate social responsibility, and Acme et al. 2016 have defined CSR as the engagement of corporations which are integral constituents of society related to their obligations in compliance with ethical values. So corporations are integral constituents of society. They play, they have a they are important, isn't it? Important elements of society, and they will be reporting, isn't it? Yeah, they have to conduct activities in compliance with ethical values and while they engage with society. Okay, according to World Business Council for Sustainable Development, the definition of CSR is the continuing commitment by businesses to behave ethically and contribute to economic development while improving the quality of life of the workforce and their families, as well as of the local community and society at large. So we talk about several stakeholders, whether internal or external, isn't it, right? And their commitment and contribution to economic development while behaving ethically and also improving the quality of life of stakeholders. So CSR is a concept according to organizations generally on a voluntary basis, pursues a policy which takes into account social, environmental, and local business in some places, yeah. But in Malaysia, it is compulsory for public listed companies that sell shares to the public according to the Malaysian Stock Exchange or Bursa to declare their CSR activities in their annual reports. So they have to do this, okay? And there is a guide for this. And the implementation of GLC transformation program. Government-linked companies are companies which are owned by the government, either holistically or they have a major share in the company, isn't it? Yeah. And the government has come up with this silver book, yeah, which focuses on CSR issues, right, that being stressed in the silver book, included in the GLC transformation manual under the GLC transformation program. Okay, so it's the transformation program for GLCs is an initiative by the government to promote CSR disclosures amongst its GLCs. And the CSR issues are being stressed in the Silver Book included in the GLC Transformation Manual under the GLC Transformation Program. In order to protect interests of all stakeholders, there's a need for a company to report their social responsibility, isn't it? Yeah. So there are many reasons why CSR reporting is important. Reporting CSR will enhance public confidence and give better image and reputation for the companies. So this is why it's really important. And Malaysian government-linked companies whose majority shares are owned by the government also need to report and disclose their CSR to obtain such benefits. We have the CSR Awards in Malaysia, and it's organized by CSR Malaysia Publications to honor outstanding corporations in Malaysia that have excelled in the role of change agents, okay, agents of change in the socio-economic transformation of Malaysia. And CSR Malaysia endeavors to promote sustainable economies and to serve the needy by featuring CSR initiatives of corporations in Malaysia. Yayasan Petronas or Petronas Foundation is a CSR arm of Petronas, and the mission, as stated by it, is to contribute to the well-being of society and aims to deliver sustainable impact, improving the quality of life and socio-economic outcomes for communities across the nation. Now, Global Reporting Initiative Standard is a tool supporting the reporting process in organizations, and GRI standards create a common language for all organizations to report on their sustainability impacts in a consistent and credible way. And this enhances global comparability and enables organizations to be transparent and accountable. So GRI standard is a tool supporting the reporting process in organizations. It provides a guide of how organizations, whether they're big or small, whether they're public or private, could do their reporting in a way that is credible, in a way that is consistent, in a way that uses language which is universally understood, right? CSR reports go by many names, and they could be called sustainability reports, environmental reports, health and safety reports, community affairs reports. So there are many names that CSR reports go by. The reporting of CSR uses different terms, including CSR reporting, sustainability reporting, ESG reporting, environmental, social, and governance. And there is such a thing as a CSR report guide in Malaysia. Vexelerova, 2008, mentions CSR report should contain the following main topics. The business context should be covered, isn't it? Yeah. Putting the company into a context. The business it's in contributes to correct understanding of CSR report, isn't it? Yeah. The commitment of senior management, the word of the director, the definition of CSR, business coherence, summary report, and goals for the next year, isn't it? Yeah. So you need to have management describe, isn't it, and evaluate the key parts and findings of a report, isn't it, right? Through the word of the director, isn't it? The definition of CSR. What is the company's definition of CSR? Business coherence. Responsible behavior is associated with or related to corporate values, principles, and rules of conduct. Summary report. It's a combination of economic, environmental, and social impact on the overall impact of society. Goals for the next year need to be indicated. It's not only what are the community engagement activities now, but also in future, what the company wants to achieve and which CSR activities to use, isn't it? Corporate profile, general information about the products and services, geographic location, industry, market share, and so forth. Financial results, sales, revenues, earnings after taxes, human resources, staff, organization structure. These would make up the company profile. Management of social responsibility, successful achievement of CSR goals depends on the chosen strategies, corporate governance effectiveness, and level of stakeholders' involvement. And corporate governance, what is that? They are basically the system, or it is a system of rules, practices, and processes by which a company is directed and controlled, right? And transparency and all stakeholders are taken into consideration by those in power. So what is the system of rules, practices, and processes, by which a company is directed and controlled? It is, it talks about transparency. It talks about who are those in power. It talks about what are the standard operating procedures, isn't it? Yeah. So that the decision making is transparent, is clear. Strategy, CSR is a part of business strategy. The relationship between CSR strategy and the total business strategy should be communicated through a CSR report. And CSR priorities, identification of priority CSR topics and related activities. What are the benefits of CSR? Corporate governance can include reporting of staffing, isn't it, of CSR management, description of the management system used for CSR, and involvement of stakeholders, key stakeholders, a description of the steps to the involvement of stakeholders, and also information on business partnerships with entities that are non-commercial in nature. So CSR report should contain the following main topics again: the company performance, how has the company performed, and in CSR, the company provides quantitative and qualitative information on the impacts of processes, company products and services in the market, working environment, local communities, and the environment. Creation of the report, the scope of the report, the time periods and calculation of business units included in the report, methodology, description of standards or methods used in the creation of reports, right? Verification by an independent third party, list of indicators, publish indicators and reasoning for their choice. Feedback, readers can express their views on CSR report or performance. Additional information, sources of additional information on the company activities, such as the website and annual report. Yeah. So these are, the creation of the report, the whole process of it as well needs to be reported. I mean, that's how transparent it has got to be, isn't it? Yeah. According to his and Howard's reports published by organizations, they differ in character. They're obligatory or not, encompass various areas of activities and business activities. The most common types of reports being developed by organizations are those including aspects of social or community, philanthropy, donations, integrated, annual financial and non-financial aspects of the business, sustainability, corporate responsibility, environment, health and safety and community, environment and social, environment, health and safety, environment, other usually standards developed by companies individually according to needs. In conclusion, observation of changes in global trends in application and use of the CSR reporting allow to infer that the development of societies will be based on the CSR principles, and societies expect that companies will take into account their needs and expectations. They expect respect for their fundamental needs, though not everywhere and not for all. Ethic and moral laws also taking actions on a large scale in social and ecological areas, taking into account all interested parties. So you need to report, isn't it, CSR activities. Okay. You need to have CSR principles. Okay. Societies expect companies to take them into consideration, right? And societies expect respect for their fundamental needs. Okay. Though not everywhere and not for all. Okay. Ethic and moral laws as also taking actions on a large scale in social and ecological areas, taking into account all interested parties. So the ethical and moral basis have to be there as well. So as you can see, CSR is very important, and you possibly will be writing CSR reports.